Good. Good morning all. Welcome to Live at the Beehive. I'm broadcasting this morning from sunny Melbourne, Australia. My name's Brian and you're on my channel, not that Brian. Yeah, lame name, I know, but that's all I could come up with on short notice. Now I post a lot about bees, a little bit about sustainability because that's something I believe in, I'm passionate about. I post a little bit about nature, gardening, you know, old people hobbies maybe, but also, no, not really that, more stuff you learn to appreciate. You know, when you're younger and you're in a hurry to do everything and everything's important and urgent, and then you kick on a little bit and you realise that some things just aren't so important. What's important is connecting with family and with friends and making a positive difference in the world, really. Because the one thing that's sure is we're all going to leave behind a footprint. And I want mine to be a positive one. So without further ado, welcome to some of my beehives. You can see two of them in this frame. I've been beekeeping now for about 6.5 years. And right now I'm surrounded by hundreds of curious bees who are wondering what I'm doing so close to their beehive. So I expect I'll become surrounded very, very soon by bees. Let's make sure that doesn't happen again. There we go. So I want to talk about two hives really today. Two hives. This one here on my right is a little hive. This one here on my left is a bit bigger. Little Ted, big Ted, little hive, big hive. Now, little hives like this have a maximum of 5 frames or 7 frames or 3 frames, depending on, you know, how big they are. And they're called nuke hives or nucleus hives. And the idea is they're the hive that you start out your bee colony in. And because they're smaller, they don't need as much room. The small colony, the baby beehive colony, doesn't need to heat it up as much. They've got less work to do to keep it cool. And it's got a smaller entrance, so it's less hard to defend. And also, as you might see in this nucleus hive, that's a gate called a bee gate. And what it means is that once my hive has gotten to a size where it's ready to move into a bigger hive, I can close that gate at night time when they're all in there, and I can pick and I can take it somewhere. Commercial beekeepers often sell them. As a matter of fact, this is one that this was my first nucleus, and I got this about 6 years ago with my first package of bees, so I've kept it, and it's been very, very useful. Because what happens at this time of year is that bees get used to, you know, they start thinking about, I don't know, making more beehives, all that, and they think about swarming. And as a residential beekeeper, I don't want my bees to swarm. I don't want my bees to swarm because it's inconvenient to my neighbours. Some people are frightened by bees, some people, you know, concerned by them. But also, if one of my beehives swarms, it means I've lost thousands of my bees. And that, you know, that affects honey production, which I don't want. Love honey. Must be a bit of Yogi Bear about me. Love honey. Actually, that sounded terrible. I really enjoy eating honey. Not to be confused with love honey, which is a completely different place. Anywho, on that free plug, this baby beehive, I started it about a week ago, and I did so because one of my other hives had 8 queen cells in it. And when you see 8 queen cells, it's almost a shame because I could have made half a dozen hives, but I couldn't actually do that. Didn't have enough bees. So I took a couple of those queen cells and I put them in here with some baby bees, some nurse bees, and what I'm thinking we'll find in here is you might see the odd bee fly in and out, and I'm hopeful that what you'll see when we look inside is that we'll see a very small package of bees just sitting there. I've given them honey to eat, and what they'll be doing is they'll be waiting for the queen that survived in here to mature. When that queen survives and she matures, she'll go off on her mating flight, and there'll be drones around because I've got 5 hives here. When she comes back, she'll be ready to start laying eggs. That won't happen till probably, it'll take about a week or so for her to mature. She'll go on her flight, she'll come back, probably start laying eggs around the end of February, which is okay timing for up here. So if I come back and look at this hive sometime mid to late February, I should start seeing some baby bees being made. And hopefully I've given them enough bees to start off with that they will survive and thrive. And at that point, I watch this hive, and as it grows, when it fills this, I'll move them into a larger single frame box, which is a 10 frame. This has only got 4 frames in it at the moment. So the aim of the game today is not to upset them. It's nice and warm, so I can open them without any risk to the bees. What I'll be doing is I'll be opening the beehive and just having a little bit of a look, because I'm super curious. You know, I'm just super curious to see, has she hatched? If she's hatched, that's great. I think she would have by now. I'm going to put a little sheet of plastic on top, just above the frames. And what I'll do with that is I'll stack it out with some sugar. And the reason for that is that I didn't have full frames of honey for them. And I just need to make sure that they've got enough food to get them by until they make workers of their own that go out and harvest. Because what happens when you make a baby nucleus like this is I put the eggs in, and the nurse bees and the queen and some of the workers fly out and they realise, hey, I'm not here anymore, and they'll fly back to their old hive. Most of the nurse bees will stay here because they've never left the hive, and all they will do is look after the babies and nurture the queen. So if we look at this hive, oh, there's one now, look at her, here she is. She's a guard bee. See them just coming out now? All they're doing is they're just watching the entrance. They're not necessarily going to fly off and harvest unless they're baby bees, but they look to me like they're just, maintaining the entrance. I can see some cleaning activity here. I can see that there's been some bees have been, chucking out some garbage, which is what they do. So that tells me that I'm hopeful that there's a colony in here that's sort of stuck. So yeah, that's what this one's all about. And this big beast on my left, this is called a long Langstroth. And a long Langstroth hive is one of my favorites. So when you think beehives, you probably think about a box that goes up and down. The bees come out, the bottom, and it's made up of 1, 2, 3, or 4 boxes. This is the same thing, but all the frames are just stacked sideways. And it's up on legs, which mean, geezers like me with dodgy backs can open the lid and the hives are there, all at an easy working height. And the reason I'm going to open this hive today, or this morning, is I just want to have a look and see how much honey they're making. They are making honey, but I had to rob that hive to make this hive. So I'm probably going to feed them a little bit this morning as well, just to sort of give back what I took away. I'm not expecting to harvest honey out of this hive, not this season anyway. 2 others over there that are looking pretty good for it. So without further ado, let's have a quick look inside my nucleus hive, shall we? How good is this? I'm just sitting here being surrounded by bees. I'm just sitting here in the morning in the sunshine. This is so relaxing. And you'll notice they haven't all jumped on me to kill me. That's because I'm not doing anything dangerous. They're curious, that's why they're flying all around me. They're curious. But I'm not hurting them. So they're not aggressive as such. A lot of people think bees and beehives and they get all scared, but I mean really, if they wanted to attack me, they'd be making different noises and they'd be dive bombing me. Instead, all these little curious noises going on. Can you hear it? No, I forgot to add. If you like my beekeeping videos, please subscribe to my channel. I've only just started YouTubing. I'm really enjoying it. I want to grow my channel, so please subscribe if you're enjoying this kind of video. It'd be awesome if you could join me on the journey. So without further ado, said it a couple of times, drum roll, let's have a look at my baby colony. Dun, dun, dun. Now, I don't want to smoke them because it's disruptive and they're only a baby colony. They shouldn't have many workers. So, let's see what we find. remove beekeeping chair. These colonies are really easy to work on because they've got funky little latches like this. They're designed for transporting, so oh, there's a couple of workers in there. You may give them just a little tickle of smoke just so they don't get hyper aggressive on me. Let's see if they've gummed this up. No, just a little bit. Pull it off. Oh, you beauty. You beauty. Look at that. So what I'm seeing is that they've joined a lot of these frames together, which means I have bees in there that are making comb, which is awesome. I've actually got 5 frames in here. I thought I had to put 4 in, but I've put 5 in, which is good. I'm still going to feed them. Just want to be on the safe side. But the sugar will not hurt them. Now, if you're ever going to feed your bees, only ever feed them white sugar. Do not feed them brown sugar. The impurities in it will make them unwell. Nobody wants that. So with a bit of luck, what we're going to see now is we're going to see freshly hatched queen. I don't think we'll see too many eggs though, because she won't be laying yet. And here we go, there's some worker bees. And they're bringing in honey that's full of nectar. It had honey in it, but they've eaten most of that. And there's my queen cells. One of them is hatched. So there's 2 queen cells there. If you can see that, 1 queen cell there, and a queen cell there, and this one has hatched. So there is a queen, or should be a queen in this hive, and there's another queen cell there. Whether or what we find, we'll soon see. There's lots of noise from in here. So because it's only a small hive, fingers crossed, I should be able to find a queen pretty easily. Yep, we've got brood there. Not a lot of bees, but it's okay. We've got brood there.